In the deepest eons of history, before mankind had even emerged from primordial ooze, the Necrontyr dominated the galaxy. But unity receded, even as the bounds of their domain expanded. Fearing the collapse of their civilization, the leaders of the Necrontyr assailed the Old Ones, seeking to wrest from them the secret of eternal life. The galaxy blazed with the fires of war. Too late, the Necrontyr realized the impossibility of victory. Thus they embraced damnation. The Star Gods, the Catan, walked amongst them, offering prized immortality and long-sought victory. So ended the Necrontyr of old. Betrayed by the ambition of Zarek, the Silent King, they were dragged in chains to the fires of biotransference, transmuted from fragile and radiation-cursed bodies to forms more suited for the ravages of war. Stripped of flesh, of mortality, even of their souls, the Necrontyr passed from history. Only the Necrons remained. Now enslaved to the will of the Catan, the Necrons at last altered the course of the war. Cosmic battle lines buckled and at last broke beneath a tide of immortal fury. As the last of the Old Ones fell, Zarek led what remained of his people in revolt against their Catan masters. The Star Gods were overthrown, shattered into shards, and forced to serve those they had once ruled. But centuries of war had taken their toll on both the Necrons and the galaxy. To preserve what remained of their empire, the Necrons retreated to colossal stasis tombs, to sleep away millennia while their domain healed and their rivals passed into dust. Freed from the shackles of time, the passing millennia meant nothing to them. 60 million years have passed, and the ancient tombs are once more stirring to life. The Necrons, forgotten by all but the Eldari, are returning to claim what was theirs. They will abide no trespassers. With the awakening of their Therion, Kefrek the Unbroken, the Neferu dynasty arises once more. Undying legions stir in the forgotten dirt of 100 worlds. The reconquest of the galaxy has begun.
Oh, Markham, let the legions rise. Oh, Markham, unleash the power of the Neferu. Oh, Markham, our worlds are infested. Scour them clean. This is my hour. The time has come for the might of the Neferu to be felt once again, my servant. Our ancient domain is infested with primitives. You are to scour them from my sight.
As you command, so shall it be, Great One.
The Adeptus Mechanicus fleet is drawing close to the northern pole. They are close to discovering our tombs.
Are we detected?
No. Their sensors are focused on the surface.
Excellent. Engage silent running. Let them remain blind until it is too late.
Vessel has engaged stealth profile. We may proceed at your order.
Impossible! Cannot comply!
An asteroid of considerable mass is on a collision vector. If it strikes...
Understood. Relocating.
We are under attack. Postulate theory. Necron ambush. Acknowledged. Assistance required. Confirmed. Reinforcements dispatched. Arrival imminent.
Target locked. Inevitable. We are death. I have vanquished the servants of the false machine, Great One.
Excellent. You were ever the swiftest arrow in my quiver. You will have ample chance to prove it. The formless horror quickens, stirring its mortal servants to conquest. And the servants of the false machine will surely return once their comrade's fate is known.
All shall fall before your splendor.
As is only proper, so that you may prepare for the coming challenges. I will order new vassals awaken to serve beneath your yoke.
You honor me, Great One.
As I anticipated, the servants of the formless horror trespass my domain.
They shall be punished, Great One.
Indeed they shall. Go. Scatter them across the sea of stars. Show them that the Neferu command greater power than they can imagine.
As you command, Great One.
Ten 10,000 years have passed since the galaxy burned in the fires of the Horus heresy. 10 millennia since the greatest of the Emperor's Primarchs fell into the grasp of eternal damnation and tore the galaxy asunder. Horus Lupercal may be dead, his body ashes, and his memory the stuff of a cursed legend. But the wounds he wrought yet gape in the hide of an embattled Imperium. For the battle against Chaos knows no end. Many of Horus' servants survived the civil wars, and they have not forgotten their defeat. When the War Master fell, they retreated to the Eye of Terror and waged battle anew. Greatest of these was Abaddon the Despoiler, Horus' greatest living heir. Abaddon took the title of War Master for his own, and embarked upon a long and bloody campaign to succeed where his fallen master had failed. 12 Black Crusades he launched against the Imperium of Man. 12 world-shattering campaigns to forever alter the balance of power. Now, as the millennium draws to a close, a vast armada of traitors slips its moorings as Abaddon launches his 13th and perhaps final strike. As the tide of chaos breaks against the Cadian Gate, the Imperium holds its breath. Faith alone cannot hold back these bleak waters. Only valor will serve.
Intruders are dust, Great One.
Excellent. You exceed my expectations. You have delivered the lessons in respect and caution this day.
And if those lessons are not taken to heart?
All who oppose my will shall perish. Indeed. The recent awakenings have drawn mankind's restless eye. The servants of the formless horror will not be far behind.
We shall be ready.
Indeed. I cede command of a new fleet to aid your purpose. The boundaries of this sector chafe at me. Is it proper that an eminence such as mine be thus confined?
It is not, Great One.
Then we are of one mind. Reclaim the neighboring Dolmen Gate, so that distant worlds might come to know my greatness.
It shall be as you command.
Tread carefully, Nemesis. So forthright a move is likely to draw the gaze of the Aldari.
Do you question our Pharaoh's command?
I merely counsel caution. Arrogance is a poor shield.
I cannot defy the Great One. His will is supreme.
As you wish, Nemesis. As you wish.
Chinchar is the mineral heart of the Segmentum Obscurus, feeding the manufactorums of Agrippina and a dozen other sectors. There are few truly colonized planets in this sector, as worlds rich in mineral resource tend towards the inhospitable. The citizens of Chinchar are likely to be slaves or penal workers, living out miserable lives in arid mines or aboard freighters. But for some renegades, there are other options. Resnor, the last resting place of vessels whose fury once shuddered the stars. A world rich in resource for those in need, and fraught with peril besides, for it is not only sunlight that caresses the planet's surface, but the toxic emissions from 1,000 reactors still trapped in decaying orbit.
Ascension proceeds apace. You have done well.
I do but serve as your vessel, Great One. Yet, I have some concern that reawakening the Dolmen Gate will have drawn the gaze of the Eldari.
If the Eldari are alerted to our presence, it is due to your actions, not my commands.
Of course, Great One. I did not mean to imply otherwise.
Deathless abhorrence. We know your intent. We know your purpose. We will find you, and your curse shall be lifted from this region.
Greetings, esteemed foe. Rejoice, for we shall meet you in battle as protocol demands.
And you shall be scattered across the stars for your presumption.
I bring dire tidings, Nemesaur. Our outposts register Eldari fleets in increasing number.
Do tell, Tsar. I would never have guessed without your bountiful insight. The Eldari are indeed roused, as you predicted. The Pharaon will hold me accountable for this.
Unless you put an end to the incursions before he orders you to do so. Victory forgives all transgressions.
Indeed. But it is Kefrek's forgiveness that concerns me most.
Eldari raids are growing in frequency and irritation. I recommend broadening our logistical base.
What do you suggest?
There is a dormant anchorage within acceptable voyaging range. It once belonged to the Terrenot dynasty, but we could restore it, press it to our purposes.
I concur, Tsar. Relay the information to the sands of time.
The region of space now known as the Eye of Terror was once home to the Eldari Empire. A prideful, sensuous people, the Eldari realized too late the perils of excess. The fourth Chaos God, Slaanesh, was born from their debauchery, its coming heralded by a psychic scream that shook real space to its foundations and devastated the Eldari. The Crone Worlds are all that remain of the Eldari's fallen domain. They are blighted planets, consumed by the spreading unreality of the Eye of Terror, and twisted to new and nightmarish realities. Though the Crone Worlds are overrun by the servants of the Dark Gods, the Eldari have not entirely abandoned them. They cannot, for only here can the treasured Spirit Stones be harvested, and thus the souls of the dying be saved from thirsting Slaanesh. Such expeditions are fraught with peril, for there are few more dangerous places amongst the stars. Many who seek the Crone Worlds do not return. The Eldari have never recovered from the horrors of the Fall. They are a fractured, dwindling population on the brink of extinction. Most dwell aboard star-treading craft worlds, honing their peerless minds along the disciplined paths in the hope of staving off the perils of decadence and thus preventing a second, final catastrophe. But not all Eldari can bear the rigidity of craft world life. Some depart their homes, seeking adventure amongst the stars as corsairs. Such lives are fraught with danger, but are also rich with excitement. These outcasts can be found in every corner of the galaxy, blazing a brief but exhilarating trail before madness claims them. The Drakari, too, live outside the structures of the Eldari path. Corrupt and cruel, they keep Slaanesh at bay, not with discipline and spirit stones, but by feasting on the torment of others. Raiders and slavers all, the Drakari are a blight upon the galaxy, as selfish as they are sadistic, as untrustworthy as they are cunning. But in recent days, the barriers between the Eldari factions have begun to crumble, with ever more gathering beneath the banner of one named Ivrain. These Inari keep their beliefs hidden as their intentions. Should they be encountered on the battlefield, caution will serve you well.
It has come to my notice that you have repelled an Aldari incursion without instruction.
I thought it best, Great One. I did not wish to trouble you with such matters.
I see. Have a care that your initiative does not become a spur to excessive pride.
Naturally not, Great One.
And yet, you have served me well. Thus I grant you a further decree of plenty. Use it well.
Of course, Great One.
Today, you are rewarded. But what of tomorrow?
With the Aldari intrusion so masterfully contained, I would have you turn your eye to different horizons.
With the greatest respect, Great One. It is only a matter of time before the Eldari return.
I will not have my wisdom questioned by a groveling cryptek. You will remain silent.
I stand ready to obey your will, Great One.
Have you heard of the vagabond Trazin?
I know he is a thief, unworthy of your mention.
Indeed. But this day the thief has uncovered something of great value to the Neferu. We must meet his price in trade. Trazin is a collector. You will acquire for him a sought-after specimen. Segle Khan of the human warriors designated the White Scars. Do not fail me.
The Skelos subsector is located to the galactic west of the Eye of Terror. Its capital planet, Skelos, is a feral world and was once the homeworld of the Sons of Malice. Once loyal space marines, they turned on the Imperium in the years leading to the 13th Black Crusade. The original name of the Sons of Malice has been lost to Imperial record, but it is speculated that they were one of the 20 chapters of the Astartes Precis, a founding created with the express purpose of safeguarding the region surrounding the Eye of Terror. The cold and unforgiving wastes of Skelos provide the Sons of Malice no shortage of barbaric recruits. Indeed, the Sons' foul religious practices trace their origins to those of the tribesmen from which they sprang. A scouring conducted by the Cadian 331st was thought to have ended these grisly traditions. Certainly the natives were thought exterminated, and the Sons of Malice driven off. But rumors have surfaced suggesting that the world is not so empty as was believed. It would seem that the Sons of Malice still stake a claim to this miserable planet. They will surely do whatever they must to make it theirs once more. Orcs are amongst the deadliest of the Xenos races. Multitudinous, belligerent, and possessed of brutal cunning, they spread across the stars like a green tide. Even in the war-riven sectors around the Eye of Terror, forever beset by chaos, they rank amongst the greatest threats. As battle raged between the Imperium and the dread forces of chaos, the Orcs gained a foothold upon ravaged worlds, using them as staging areas from which they could slingshot deeper into Imperial territory. Orc technology is ramshackle, but terrifyingly effective, combining mismatched components, scavenged gear, and intuitive leaps to forge weapon systems whose inner workings baffle the most experienced of the Imperium's adepts, but lack for nothing in sheer, unbridled firepower. In much the same way, an Orc warlord can take a multitude of squabbling clans and forge them into an unstoppable army. Such a war has the sheer, unbridled might necessary to conquer the stars themselves, leaving naught but rubble in its wake. As its momentum grows, so do its numbers grow, swollen by green skins drawn to the promise of bloodlust, teeth, and loot.
This outpost allows us to project our power across a number of vital systems, though it may prove difficult to hold if threatened.
One day, Tsar, you will deliver good tidings without the bad clattering close behind. Orcs, ever a pestilence. They have too great a foothold already. Steps must be taken.
Do you have a plan?
I do. We will trace the brutes back to their source and scour them from the stars.
A sound plan, balancing guile and overwhelming force in the proper proportions.
The Forge world Agrippina itself would have fallen millennia ago, but for its formidable defenses. now bolstered by the Cadian diaspora. Even with Cadia lying in ruins, its scions stand firm beside Agrippina. And it is well that this is so, for the world's technological wonders have proven an irresistible lure to Chaos warpsmiths. The Agrippina sector is a linchpin in the Cadian Gate's defenses, a laboring manufactorum that feeds nearby worlds with weaponry and much-needed munitions. Wealth abounds within its borders, and it supplies the Astra Militarum with many of its finest regiments.
Hail, a Marken of the Neferu.
Anakale, what would the Temerin dynasty have of me? Our war is not so long in the past that I welcome you.
I invoke the Protocol of Concordia. We require your assistance.
A most unexpected development.
Proceed.
The Temerin core worlds are invaded. We stand upon the brink of destruction. I am authorized to offer fealty in exchange for aid.
A generous offer, or a desperate one.
And this invader of which you speak?
The Great Devourer. Those known to others as the Tyranids. We have fleets mustering across this region. Protect them, and they shall be yours to command.
The Imperium of Man. A galaxy-spanning empire in decline. Once, humanity stood on the brink of taming the stars. A golden age of light and glory beckoned. But men have ever been prone to temptation and lured to stubborn pride. Now the Space Marines, intended as the vanguard of mankind's ascension, fight ceaselessly to prevent their father's work sliding into ruin. The Adeptus Mechanicus, custodians of wondrous technology, take to the stars in hope of unearthing lost secrets from the very darkest of ages, and to impose the Omnissiah's will upon a scattered galaxy. But nowhere is the Imperium's might more plainly seen than in the vessels of its star-spanning navy. As war rages, colossal warships slip anchor to smite the foe with the righteous fury of the faithful. Such vessels are both Imperium's stalwart shield and gleaming spear, shining in the impenetrable dark of space. It takes more than a man to command such a warship. It takes a hero, strong in will and unflinching of purpose. Without such heroes, the Emperor's light would surely wane. Admiral Spire is one such hero, forged in the hallways of the vaunted Schola Progenium, tempered in the cursed days of Abaddon's 12th Black Crusade. Long has he been lost, but now, freed from the Immaterium's clutches, he returns to shed his blood in the Emperor's cause once more. Any who seek to sweep mankind from the stars must first reckon with Spire. Many have sought his head, all have failed. But one hero alone may not be enough to change the Imperium's fortunes. It will take thousands, even millions, for mankind to reclaim its footing in the Eye of Terror's gaping maw. And millions more to hold it. Such a task will not be easy. Cadia is demon-hunted rubble, and the Imperium itself is scarred, torn in two by the Cicatrix Maledictum. But it is the nature of heroes to triumph in adversity, and of faith to flourish in the dark. Bellis Corona is a vital anchorage, serving as the Imperial Navy's primary base in the Segmentum Obscurus. Over the millennia, its importance has only grown, and it now acts as the Imperium's administrative capital for the entire Segmentum. In the prelude of the 13th Black Crusade, the arch-traitor Typhus descended on Bellis Corona, spreading a devastating contagion named in whispers as the Plague of Unbelief. Despite Typhus' assault and the loss of billions of lives, the sector held firm. But in recent days, Psychers stationed in Bellis Corona have suffered total collapse, their minds torn asunder by some strange and terrible shadow moving through the Immaterium. This can only bode ill.
honored foe. We come in need, not out of desire for bloodshed. Surrender yourself, and your followers will be spared.
Necrons, here. By the pyres of Kumkarta, you'll have nothing from me.
Incorrect. A pity he is so selfish.
The unascended are often so, Nemesis. This region is thick with wreckage. It will distort signals. It may be that we cannot trust our sensors.
Understood. We will proceed with caution.
Bringing terror unseen. Initializing motive power. Inferior vessels sighted. Inferior vessels sighted. Impossible! Cannot comply! I serve your glory. Let's silence. Reconfigure protocols. Energy to weapons array. How may I serve? There will be no escape. I am the Dynasty Spear. Ready to serve. Engaging weaponry. What is your command? Shroud strike complete. Critical damage levied. Motive units fully engaged. Ready to serve. Energy
Dynasty's spear. Energy to weapons array. Reassembling coherence. Energy to weapons array. Energy to recoalescence. How may I serve? I serve your glory. Enemy vessels suffered critical damage. What is your command? Reassembling coherence. Ready to serve. I am the Dynasty's spear. Yes, my liege. Defeat grows inevitable. How will I serve? Impossible! Cannot comply! I am the Dynasty's spear. Energy to recoalescence. Reassembling coherence. Impossible. Cannot comply. I serve your glory. Ready to serve. What is your command? On the march. Energy to recoalescence. Reassembling coherence. Energy to recoalescence. Energy to weapons array. Impossible! Cannot comply! Impossible! Cannot comply! Internal damage registered! I am the Dynasty's spear. Reassembling coherence. Ready to serve. I serve your glory. command. I am the Dynasty Spear. Moving. All power to motive units. Ready to serve. Shroud strike successful. Adopting defensive protocol. Shroud strike complete. Critical damage leveled. Motive units fully engaged.